How's it going, everybody? In this video, I want to talk about the recent Sixth Circuit en banc decision in the GOA v. Garland bump stock case. This decision was a rare 8-8 deadlock opinion, which resulted in a win for the ATF. So let's talk about what happened. But real quick, before we jump into this video, if you think the ATF needs to be abolished, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Also, I want you to know that this video is sponsored by Groove Life. Groove Life is a company that I actually supported and used before they ever reached out to become a sponsor. I actually wear one of their black silicone rings daily, and it's just an amazing product. Their ring is the only breathable ring on the market, and the groove in the ring allows for air to get into the ring and moisture to get out. It's really comfortable to wear, and I switched from my titanium ring to this one because when I go to jiu-jitsu or when I go to the range, I don't have to worry about something happening to my finger and then me having to go to the emergency room to have my titanium ring cut off, or maybe even my finger cut off because of what happened. On top of all of this, the ring is super comfortable and comes with a variety of colors, and also comes with a 94-year no BS warranty. So check out Groove Life using the link down in the detail section if you're interested, and thank you again, Groove Life, for sponsoring this video. Also want you to know that this content is powered by the Firearms Policy Coalition. So head on over to joinfpc.org to help support the Second Amendment cause. Thank you again, Firearms Policy Coalition, for supporting this channel. So like I said in the intro, the Sixth Circuit en banc panel recently issued their opinion in the GOA v. Garland bump stock case. This is a case challenging the ATF's interpretation of bump stocks as actual machine guns. Now, some quick background on this case and how this whole issue kind of arose. For many years, the ATF had correctly concluded that the NFA and GCA's definition of the term machine gun does not include devices like bump stocks. However, after the incident in Las Vegas, the ATF decided to arbitrarily change the regulatory definition of machine gun so that bump stocks would be considered to actually be machine guns. This new rule took effect in March of 2019, and therefore under federal law, owners were required to either destroy the devices or to surrender them to the ATF. This change in definitions made possessors of bump stocks subject to a punishment of 10 years in prison and or a fine of $250,000 if they failed to either destroy or to surrender the devices. Now, the case here is a challenge to the ATF's final rule on bump stocks led by GOA, or the Gun Owners of America. This case was determined in favor of the ATF in the district court at that level, and eventually this case made its way up to the Sixth Circuit en banc panel for review. After hearing oral arguments, the Sixth Circuit en banc panel issued their opinion, and it was a deadlocked 8-8 decision, which is very rare. So the order of the court was as followed. They stated, following argument heard by the court en banc on October 20th of 2021 and a conference among the judges, the court divided evenly, with 8 judges voting to affirm the judgment of the district court and 8 judges voting to reverse. Consequently, the judgment of the district court is affirmed. So essentially, since the Sixth Circuit en banc panel was deadlocked 8-8, the tie essentially goes to the runner. And in this case, the runner would be the DOJ, who won before the lower court. This split between the judges came down to 2 kind of main issues. The pro-ATF side saying that Chevron deference supports the interpretation of bump stocks as machine guns since the term is ambiguous. In contrast, the other side of judges say the term is not ambiguous and that bump stocks were never intended to be included in the term machine gun. This side also argued that courts have improperly used Chevron and also incorrectly excluded the use of the rule of lenity. Now, if you're not aware of what Chevron deference refers to, Chevron deference is a term coined after the landmark case in the Supreme Court referring to the doctrine of judicial deference given to administrative actions. Generally, for an agency to be given Chevron deference, the agency's interpretation of ambiguous statutes must be rational or reasonable. So when a statute has ambiguous terms, the agency responsible for enforcing that statute may be able to determine what the term was intended to mean as long as their interpretation is rational or reasonable. In contrast to Chevron deference, the rule of lenity indicates that when dealing with criminal statutory interpretation, a court is required to apply any unclear or ambiguous law in a way that is most favorable to the people, not the enforcement agency. The interpretation of the definition of machine gun does involve criminal penalties, and therefore the argument is that the rule of lenity would direct the courts to interpret it in a way most favorable to us, the people, not the ATF. So you had these 2 opposing positions, and that is what led to an 8-8 deadlocked opinion. And since neither side had the majority, what happens is what the district court ruled below is affirmed by that kind of tie that happens before the en banc panel. Now, in response to this opinion, GOA put out the following press release. It states the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit today issued an order in the Gun Owners of America case challenging the ATF's bump stock ban. GOA's fight is far from over as our lawyers begin preparing a petition for certiorari in the High Court. The fact that the Sixth Circuit was so divided that it could not even give an answer on our questions means the Supreme Court must eventually decide whether unelected ATF bureaucrats have the power to create new federal crimes out of thin air. The court split evenly 8-8, an extremely rare occurrence in the Court of Appeals. This peculiar result means that the court was unable to reach a majority opinion either way in the case, resulting in a flawed ruling of the lower court, district court being affirmed by default. Along with its order, the court issued two opinions, one supporting the bump stock ban and one opposing it, but neither representing the judgment of the court, and so neither with a precedential value. So that's the press release that GOA put out, and they also indicated in that press release that they will be filing a writ of certiorari up to the Supreme Court in an effort to get the Supreme Court to review this issue. Whether or not the Supreme Court would take up and review this issue right now is unknown. However, the 8-8 split in judges before the Sixth Circuit is a strong indication that this is an issue that the Supreme Court finally needs to resolve. Also, I want to note that there is another bump stock case currently up for Supreme Court review, and that is the Apashian case. That case has actually been distributed for conference before the Supreme Court, and they will have conference on that case on December 10th. So it's possible the Supreme Court could take up the Apashian case. They could take up both of these cases. They could put them on hold. Maybe they could take up the Apashian case and put the GOA case on hold. There's a lot of things that could happen. But really, this December 10th conference with Apashian could create some signals, either good or bad, maybe what the Supreme Court is planning to do with this type of issue on the ATF's interpretation of bump stocks as machine guns. So we should really be keeping our eyes on the Apashian case on December 10th to see what the Supreme Court will do with that case, because it could really bear on this GOA bump stock case. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Also, if you like this video and like support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm or fuel Al Gore's rhythm. It adds fuel to his jet, and it signals to YouTube that you guys see value in these videos and in this type of 2A news. So thank you so much to everybody who's liked, commented, subscribed, who's hit the notification bell. You guys are directly impacting these videos, impacting this channel, and helping me to reach more people than I could have ever thought possible. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. If you don't have a comment in mind, just comment down below that you're coming to fuel the algorithm. And also, if you're a new subscriber, go ahead and comment down below that you're a new subscriber, and I will comment back to you. So as always, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And never forget, this is Built by Armed Scholars, and the station we maintain by Armed Scholars.